everyone, and welcome to another episode of Disqualified. I'm Trevin, joined as always by Caleb.
Hola!
And Zach is behind the camera. And we are here to talk about Smackdown.
Yeah, so coming to us from Barcelona.
Yeah.
So this was on tape delay for us here in the US. It did air live at I think like 2 or 3. Maybe 4.
On some streaming networks.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Internationally. So we had I don't think these guys had the show spoiled for them. I was keeping up alongside the show on Twitter, so I saw everything that happened. And it looks like a good show. I watched it last night just to get a taste to see what actually happened on screen. And yeah, but also, sorry for the late uploads for Monday Night Raw and NXT. But hey, consolation prize, you get a whole weekend of disqualified uploads.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be going up tomorrow. But we're here to talk about SmackDown, like Trevin said, and what opened up SmackDown, Trevin June.
Yep, so your new U.S. champion, sort of your returning one, L.A. Knight, comes out to the crowd to thunderous applause.
Speaks a little Spanish.
Yep. And he's basically like, the U.S. title's back home where it belongs, and I am ready to defend it, but just because I'm defending it don't mean I'm ready to let it go.
Mm-hmm. And then, here comes one Big Jim.
Yep.
And he basically says that he's ready to fight for it. He said, look, I'm not out here to ask for a shot. I'm desperate.
Yep.
He says I'm desperate.
Yep.
I'm not looking for a shot.
Like,
I need a shot.
Little bro got his WrestleMania spot. My path is getting slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah. And then, after a bit of back and forth, here comes out Solo.
Wah, 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 wah.
Solo, it was Jacob and Tama Tonga.
Yup.
And they come out and Solo says fuck.
Oh. Yep. But he basically says that Big Jim...
Censored on the English broadcast.
Yeah. Big Jim ain't gonna be the one to bring the U.S. title back, or any title back to the family. It's going to be Jacob Fatu.
Yep.
Yep. The roles have reversed of Solo is Jacob's hype man still. And they get into an altercation, which sets up an impromptu 6-man tag, with the third man for the babyface side being Braun Strowman.
Who comes running down for the love of the game, because we all know those knees are shot.
Yeah.
But he comes running down to the ring for the love of the game, helping out the baby faces, and I think the baby faces get the win, correct?
Yep, baby faces get the win, but it leads to the Bloodline starting a brawl.
Yep, because Braun Strowman power slams Tama Tonga.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, and then the big Samoan spike, literally right as Braun starts celebrating.
Yep. And then we get another Jacob and Braun face-to-face, leading up to a rematch, hopefully. But I'm going to comment that Jimmy's promo and the Solo's promo also, if you watch this episode back, you can... Santi commented on it. A lot of people this episode were a little jet lagged.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like, okay, so I saw the clip circulating of Jimmy saying the U.S. tag titles. I don't know if he actually said that.
He did.
He did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was once again taken out of the U.S. of the U.S. broadcast.
Yeah. But yeah,
they were just so jet lagged is just the perfect way to put it.
Yep. But then before we get into our next match between B-Fab and Charlotte Flair, B-Fab cuts a Spanish promo that is,
which was fire.
Yep. But then we go to commercial break, which leads into another promo with Jade Cargill,
Mm-hmm.
getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly, asking about how how she knew it was Naomi, what's her plan and course of action, and Jade's like, look, I'm emotionally distraught.
I don't even know who did it. I just saw Naomi running away.
Yeah.
Which, do we think Naomi did it?
Yeah.
I mean, she said it.
Yeah,
Do we think this could go a different way? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
It's just, I didn't see her do it. I just saw her running away.
Yeah.
Well, if you're running away without being accused of something, most likely you've done something wrong.
Yeah. But then the interview gets interrupted by Raquel and Liv chirping at how Jade got hurt. They didn't do it. We were right.
Liv says, you've been silent for weeks and now you want to talk? You've been silent for weeks, now you want to talk? Think about that next time you get attacked. She's like, because Raquel and I have been getting blamed for weeks and we didn't do anything.
Yep.
And Jade was like, now is not the time. Now is not the time. I'm telling you, now is not the time.
Yeah, it eventually led to the threat of, you want to squabble right now?
Yeah, but this leads to next week, Jade versus Liv, and Jade is going to win that match. Unless Naomi interferes.
Yeah. There's probably going to be some interference, because a lot of people are speculating that ever since Elimination Chamber, there's a potential tag match between Nikki and Alexa representing the Wyatt Six versus Liv and Raquel. But who knows?
Yeah, who really knows?
Yeah.
And who really knows what these... One of two teasers. So let's choose which one you want to go with first. The orange one or the black one?
Let's go with the orange one since it's the most obvious, because they literally showed his silhouette.
Yeah, so the orange teaser shows a luchador running along ropes and just sitting on there.
Yep. A couple lightning strikes.
And it is pretty apparent that Rey Fenix is going to Smackdown.
Which is surprising, since the other Lucha Bro is on Raw.
And there's reports coming out that they really want to push them as the Lucha Bros going forward. So, we shall see. But, stay on the edge of your seats, because we will talk about the second promo later on in the episode. Just to keep you guys watching.
Yep. But now, the match that was in between, that was after all these promos, Charlotte versus B-Fab. It was aight.
Yeah, it was alright. I really like how they are giving B-Fab this star-looking treatment.
Yeah.
She comes out there, she has a match with Charlotte Flair, she holds her own.
She's not only getting screen.
while.
Yeah, she's not only getting screen time, she's getting ring time.
And she's getting pops.
Yeah.
Which was great. Like, honestly, another proponent to like how I rank things is audience reaction and participation.
Yeah.
And this show is already like crowd of the year.
Yes. Europe knows how to cheer for the show.
Not even Europe, it's just international crowds. It's like, I can't really speak to a lot of Japanese promotions because I don't watch a lot of Japanese wrestling, because I don't know where to, quite frankly. But a lot of their crowds are silent.
Mm.
And it's more like a respect thing, I believe.
Yeah.
U.S. crowds are loud and rowdy, but some of them just fucking suck. There's some nights on Raw where no one, and I literally mean not a single fucking person can get a pop. Unless your name is like Rhea Ripley or Cody Rhodes or someone like that, you're not getting a single fucking pop.
Yep.
International crowds, they were saying this is the first time in, 6 years that Spain has had a WWE show, and the first time ever that Smackdown has been in Barcelona. So yeah, it was a huge night. B-Fab, I learned, was raised in Colombia, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, she held her own in a lot of this match. The match ending in a figure 8 after Charlotte, takes over after a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
And then she just holds her own, dominates for like 3 minutes, hits the figure 8, about immediate tap out when she bridges it.
Yep.
And then she holds it.
Yep. The bell rings 3 times. 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlotte ain't holding. A bunch of refs are coming out to try to separate
And
it.
you know what time I think it is, Trevin?
It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time, and she runs out full steam ahead, goes to roll in that ring, and her leg knocks on the bottom rope.
Yeah.
She gets spun around. I just found it pretty funny. It happens,
But
especially when you're running like that.
Yep, but a brawl ensues. And by brawl, I mean brawl.
Yeah, so these two ladies go at it back and forth for about another 5 minutes on our
Yep.
screen. Takes us into the break.
Yep, the announcers say that the entire security team is out there trying to separate them. And we cut to commercial with Tiffy hitting a it's not a moonsault.
If you're thinking this is when she goes off the Tron, no.
No,
We come back after
she
break.
she does it off the top rope.
Yeah, off the
first
top
time.
rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a pretty much a swanton.
Yeah, swanton onto the security. Yeah.
Not Charlotte. Charlotte was in the group, but she was off to the
Yeah,
side.
everyone falls, but let's just say whenever Tiffy does a flip in this segment, Charlotte's nowhere near to catch her.
Okay, no, let's just say whenever Tiffy does a flip to the outside, it is very fucking rare that people catch her, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's like beef. I don't know, but half the time when Tiffany Stratton is coming off the ropes on the outside, watch. Everyone's gonna back up. Remember Money in the Bank? When she won it? When she did that dive to the outside and basically no one fucking caught her? She hit back first.
Jeez, I forgot that.
Because they just caught her legs. They didn't decide to, catch the body. Just said, oh, we're going to catch the legs in.
Ow.
Yeah, like that shit sucks.
Yeah.
But hey, they caught her this time. And then they brawl more up the rampway, and then they get separated. And then we go to commercial break.
Yep.
And when we come back, it's Miz TV.
Yeah. First, we get a Drew McIntyre promo explaining his beef with Damian Priest, being like, let's go back to last year's WrestleMania. I'm on top of the world after winning the title off of Seth, and then my biggest enemy screws me over, and who's there to capitalize? None other than Damian Priest to cash in his briefcase. Few months later, in my home country at Clash in the Castle, I'm about to pin the sucker to win the title that's rightfully mine, but who's there to save your sorry butt? CM Punk. Now, a couple months later, at Money in the Bank, I win the briefcase. Decide to pull an Uno reverse and cash in on your match, but who's there to screw me over? CM Punk. You capitalize for the 1, 2, 3 and retain that title. A few more months. Royal Rumble. I'm going for an elimination, and you sneak in from behind and eliminate me. And then Elimination Chamber. I Claymore John Cena, the man who ends up winning the thing in the face, go for the pin, but you decide to roll me up and eliminate me. So I had to cash in a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time I saw you on Smackdown, I decided this beef ain't over.
Yep, and very, very good reasoning for why we're getting this match at Mania. I don't know why I didn't realize that all this just coincidentally happened last year with Damian and Drew. So yeah, it totally makes sense for why this is heading into Mania, going to be a rivalry. But we shall see. Also, I don't really. It's weird. There's been reports that the initial reason why Drew was brought over to SmackDown was to feud with Cody after Mania for the belts. But now with Cena, I don't know if Drew's going to get those matches. And if that's the case, why didn't you have any backup plans? Or did you really not know that Cena was going to win this whole time at Mania? I don't know. They might shock us and they might have Cody win.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting, that you just waste the momentum of this heel turn and kind of I don't know, like, if Cena loses at Mania, where does Cena go from here?
I feel like if Cena loses at Mania, I go back to my King of the Ring idea, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm Cena and I did all this and I finally sold out after all these years and I still lose,
I'd crash out.
I think I retire. I think I say, fuck the retirement tour. I'm done here. I haven't won a match since 2018. I finally win this match, but because I got handed the win by Seth Rollins, I then sell out my soul, and I still can't beat Cody Rhodes. I think I'm done then.
Yeah. I mean, there's also Money in the Bank.
Yeah, they could right their wrong with having Cena actually be the first person to fail cash in. But we shall see. But speaking of Cody Rhodes, he is the guest of this Miz TV segment. But before Miz TV can even get started, Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair are back at it once again.
Yep.
Brawling. And they're brawling, they get separated, and all of a sudden, Tiffany Stratton is on top of the Titantron.
Yup.
And you're just like, oh, how did you get up there?
Well, she's coming down real quick as she does another swanton.
And lands on everyone. And of course, Charlotte is on the side again.
Yup.
Really protecting that knee for Charlotte. Really protecting that knee. She's gonna have to take it at some point because that's one of Tiffany's moves.
Yep. But they eventually get pulled back, and the Miz is like, well, that's a way to open the premiere episode of Miz TV on SmackDown.
And then Miz welcomes and does his intro of the Miz TV in Spanish.
Yep.
And so he invites out his guest, one Sir Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
I think you forgot a Cody.
Did I forget a Cody? Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
But yeah, he comes out and he immediately just takes a punch right off Miz.
Yep.
Fucking crossroads, and he said, I do not want to talk to anyone unless his name is John Cena. And this is the most interesting the Cody Rhodes character has been to me. I fucking love a pissed off Cody
Monday,
Rhodes.
we might be in the same building, but if we don't meet face to face, the next time we do, it's on site.
Dude, straight up, like I said, this is the most interesting Cody Rhodes has been to me in general.
Yeah.
At least in the second run. I'm just not a big fan of the American Nightmare gimmick. I really liked his stuff previously before Stardust. When he had the mustache, when he was dashing Cody Rhodes. Even on dashing Cody Rhodes, I liked. I don't know. I feel like, because the American Nightmare has been going on for a while.
Yeah. I think
it might be time for a gimmick change. But also at the same point, this is what, his 4th year back? Third or
Yeah.
fourth?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the gimmick is still, I mean, not new to the WWE audience, but there's still some people that might not know what the gimmick is fully about.
Yeah.
It's not fully washed out yet.
Yeah, it's not fully washed out yet. I just think I'm kind of over it. I would prefer a gimmick change at some point.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially because of this storyline, some people are suspecting we might finally get Homelander Cody.
We might get Homelander Cody. I'm going to dub it. We might get Black Suit Superman Cody. But I don't know. We just need something different. He needs a character refresh. I think that's the main reason why I'm so tired of seeing him. It's not the same with Seth, because Seth, while his character is very much the same every week, it's the outfits, the audacity to come out in those stupid ass, fuck ass outfits. I can't help but love it.
Seth is, for someone who's been watching as not as long as you have, but still has decent idea of how to read these stories. I feel like Seth is the perfect example of a tweener. He's like, yes, it's like he will be the face this week. The very next week, he's the heel of the story.
Yeah, and that's not to say that this is my favorite Seth Rollins gimmick. I think my favorite Seth Rollins gimmick was probably, maybe the Slayer status. When he was the Beast Slayer, then he became the King Slayer. I just think that era was pretty cool. They really pushed him as like this underdog fighting up after his tremendous heel run that he went on after he got out the Authority. Then he started fighting back and taking it back to the Authority. Maybe we get Homelander Cody after he loses and we get a good guy Homelander Cody, but that would be weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't see them turning Cody heel at any point soon, because he's the biggest babyface in the company.
Yeah, I feel like he just gets more aggressive. Like, kind of like how we see Crash Out Jay, we see Crash Out Cody, where it's just, he is now tunnel visioned on getting that title back. No matter who he has to hurt, no matter whose feelings get a little pushed aside.
Yeah, I don't know. So he's either going to keep the blonde or he's going to go black hair for his evil run, for his more aggressive run. I would just prefer him to go back to the brown. But this is way off topic. Way off topic.
Yeah, but our next segment is Nick Aldis talking with Shinsuke, with Aldis saying, like, look, after what you pulled last week, you're lucky you're even allowed back here. You're lucky you're not suspended. You tried to break so many rules last week. And then it pans to Shinsuke and he just says, I just want a rematch.
He's like, look, I don't care about anything you said. I just want to throw down.
Yeah.
I want to squabble. And then Damian Priest comes up.
Yep. And he's like, he just has one question. Where is he?
Yep, and Nick Aldis says he has on good authority that Drew left earlier in the evening.
Yep.
And so Shinsuke says something in Japanese.
Yep. And Damian Priest is just like, listen, I have no idea what you just said, but I didn't like the tone of it, so I'm gonna say something that the audience is gonna understand. And
here's the thing, though. He doesn't say just audience. He also says, and you're going to understand, and I think he didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't doubt that Shinsuke would learn Spanish, but it's, why?
Yeah. But he basically says in Spanish, then translates to English of like, I'm looking for a fight, and I've decided to kick your ass.
Yep, and we get that match later on in the evening.
It's actually the next match. They just hop right to it.
Oh, well, this match happened. It was pretty boring. Sorry, that's why that's why I thought it happened later on. The cool part about this match, Damien picks up the win.
Yep.
That's not the cool part. The cool part is Drew McIntyre murdering Damian Priest.
Yep. Yep. They have a brawl. Drew gets the upper hand and just claymores the F out of DP.
Do you know that picture of Jimmy Uso laying face down after he gets put through the table?
I don't.
Because that's the same fucking pose that Damien was hitting.
Yeah.
Face down, feet out like this. Just hands at side. He was...
Like the Yamcha pose?
No. Fuck. It's just like... Think of like a basic ragdoll animation. He was just...
Pure Skyrim.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically, that pose is the wrestling version of the Family Guy death pose, just...
Yeah, he was out like a light, and Drew says, look, it's going to be hell.
Yep.
It's going to continue to be hell for you.
Yep.
And that ends the segment.
Yep. And then we get basically promo after promo after promo. The first promo we get is to lead up to our main event later tonight with DIY asking for a moment of silence for the Street Profits. And then they get interrupted by the Motor City Machine Guns being like, ain't no one cares about a moment of silence. You wouldn't have those titles if you didn't throw away 20 years of friendship and screw us over.
And they said, because of you, the whole tag team division on SmackDown is in complete disarray. Everyone's fighting each other. Everything is all over the place more than it usually is. And is there anything more that they touch on that segment? Excuse me.
So, yeah. But then another promo is we get an interview with what starts as the Secret Hervis looking to see if the area is safe, and then Chelsea Green says she's all clear, girls, and we basically get a promo about the rivalry with Michin seems to be all done right now. So what's Chelsea's next plan? And Chelsea's like, I don't like Nick Aldis spontaneously giving me match after match, especially these aggressive stipulations. And it's like, if I'm going to be your U.S. champ, I need to be protected. I need to be safe. And then Zelina Vega pops out and is like, you funny.
And you know what sounds nice? And new Women's United States Champion Zelina Vega. And walks off laughing. Like she's done for the past, I want to say 3 weeks now. Which is like, if you want a match, ask for a match.
Yeah.
Don't just say, it would sound nice if I had that title. And then just leave it at that.
Yep.
I don't really understand what they're doing there. Maybe they're waiting for a certain someone, but we'll discuss that. Wait, do we have one more promo?
No.
Okay, we'll actually discuss that now. So the second teaser was a bunch of smoke. And you just hear walking, pretty much.
And then
a 4. And it's like, who is that? And I think it is Aleister Black.
Yep. Now, some people are asking, does this mean 4 days, 4 weeks, 4 months?
It could be a date getting spelled out over the next couple weeks. We don't know. There was a part at the end of his first run with the company where he was doing like chapters. There's like the Book of Black, I think it was. And someone said like the Book of Black chapter 4. And they're like, oh, it could be that. I think it might just be like countdown weeks. So in 4 months, it'll be right before Mania. So it could be maybe like the next 4 weeks. I'm coming back. I think he's going to be a post-Mania surprise. I don't think they're going to debut him before Mania because you would probably want to put him on Mania if he's coming back.
Yeah.
But
it could be a cool Raw after Mania surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because we don't know when the draft is scheduled, but we do know that it is set for after WrestleMania.
Yep.
So I'm guessing within the coming 2 to 3 weeks after that, we're going to get the draft.
Yep.
Maybe the first week of just surprises and then draft time. But moving into, is it our main event?
No, we have one more match with Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. I forgot about this match, not because it was bad, but just because I was excited about what happened in the main event.
Yes.
I completely
We
forgot.
actually have a lot of stuff before the main event.
What?
So hold your horses.
I forget it was a long ass show.
It's a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize. Wait, so we have one match and then how many?
Uh,
No, I remember a promo segment that's happening.
Yeah. So this is so we have this match, another match, couple promos, and our main event.
What match happened after this?
Gunther v. Axiom.
Oh, yesterday was a long night.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so.
Yeah. But Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes.
Pardon me, I'm stuck in today.
Yeah. This match had a few good spots, but still kind of a match.
Yeah, it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
We see Randy pick up the win.
Yep. He goes to handshake Carmelo. Carmelo sort of pushes him away, and everyone's like, mate, if Randy offers you a handshake, you take it. So Randy RKO's Carmelo in return, and then he's like, you know what? Starts backing up into the corner, starts to take aim,
Goes for a punt.
and Carmelo gets pulled out by who the camera pans to is Mr. On-site for Randy himself.
Of returning Kevin Owens.
Yup. And Randy's like, oh, you ain't getting away from me this time.
Yep, so we actually get like 3 little brawls this episode.
Yee.
With Randy and Kevin brawling for a little bit before getting separated.
Yep.
And thus ends that segment.
Yep.
This part, yeah, I remember what I was doing last night at this time. My family was over, so I was like out of the room where I was watching the show. But yeah, I did hear this promo because I had an earbud going. We get Gunther, and he comes out, and he's like, look, it's great to be here in Barcelona. Wish we were in Madrid.
Boo.
He said, hello, Madrid. And then he said, look, I want to fight the best. And I heard there's a kid around here. Which, low wink and nudge, if you know anything about this.
Who apparently is one of the best wrestlers to come out of Spain.
Yep, and he said, I think it's time that he comes out here so I can actually have some good competition. And hometown hero Axiom comes out. Yeah, so if you didn't know, Axiom is A-Kid. A-Kid was his first gimmick.
Yep.
A-Kid did make a return in his actual home promotion the night before, so I knew that he was in Barcelona.
Yep.
Or at least in Spain. But yeah, this is chapter 2 of Gunther v. Axiom. Their first chapter was in NXT UK, and they followed it up with a banger.
Yes, this match cooked.
I was outside the room, but I have seen the clips. This match was a fucking banger. At one point, I think we saw the power bomb and the kick out at 2.
Yep.
And Gunther was just like, what the fuck?
Yep. There were plenty of power bombs countered with hurricanranas.
Yep, and I know that man was wearing a mask, but I could tell that man was smiling the whole time.
Yep. He's like, this is dope.
Yep, but in the end, Gunther picks up the win.
Yep. But I actually want to comment on this is Gunther is trying to set himself up as this powerful force leading up to his match against Jay at Mania to sort of intimidate Jay a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, listen, Jay, we've done this song and dance and you've lost every time. Like, I'm going to make your life hell, but I'm also going to tease you a little bit, have all these matches to prove how good I am. And so far he's had 3 of those style of matches. All 3 of them, Gunther has shown to struggle a little bit and have to pull stuff out of his bag. It's like, Gunther, this intimidation tactic isn't really working.
Oh no, your theory of the get humbled arc is coming, but the person doing the humbling is going to be Jey Uso, which I did not think was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if anyone's gonna do it, I guess it's Jay.
But it's funny how like the whole story of why he's having all these matches is to intimidate Jay, and it's like the audience is like, Gunther, we're not intimidated. We see you struggling. Why do you think Jay would be intimidated?
Yeah, and so we're gonna cut to another Gunther segment. So we see Jimmy in the back, just sitting there, dejected.
Yeah, sort of stretching a little bit off of getting some snot beaten out of him during the 6-man tag.
And then we see Gunther come up to him, and he sits next to him, and he's like, look, I know what it's like. I have a younger brother. I mean, obviously, you guys are twins, but you're the more mature one.
Yeah.
And he's like, you should, as a brother, tell him that this is a stupid idea.
Yeah.
And Jimmy says, nah, screw all that noise. At Bourbon Street, we yeet. And I was like, what the hell?
Yep.
He said yeet, not no yeet. He said yeet.
Yep. He's like, listen, we all know what's gonna happen. You've caused Jay to crash out. You're effed.
Yep. And now getting back into some slightly more bloodline, or some tangentially bloodline related news. The Wise Man,
Yeah.
Paul Heyman, was out in the ring. And, you know, it's always great when Paul Heyman gets a mic. And he says, March 14th will hereby be now known as Roman Reigns Day, because it is the worldwide release of WWE 2K25. And he said, look, I know some of you here have the video game and you're going to go play it when you get home. And some of you at home have the game and are waiting to play it. But wait to play it after the show is over, because we want to keep our ratings.
Yep.
At least he's honest.
Yes, at least he's honest.
Yep. But then he talks a little bit about the events of Monday.
Yep, and he says, I think he says something about, like, there's people that like Roman, there's people that like Punk, but no one likes Seth Rollins.
Yep.
And basically just going into a little bit of, like...
I like Seth Rollins.
No, I like Seth Rollins.
Yeah, a lot of people too. He's just cutting a promo of like how
this
rivalry is still a brewing.
And it's personal for him too, because he has 2 stakes in 2 completely different people.
Yup.
And he basically brings up his relationship with those guys, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I don't recall him getting interrupted at any point.
Nope.
So.
I think he said that Roman is going to make an appearance on Smackdown soon, from what I recall. Yeah.
So, hey, Roman Reigns returns to SmackDown.
Yeah. But then, we finally get to our main event.
Before we even get to our main event, we get a promo from the Street Profits.
Yup.
As they're walking out, and then they get interrupted by Legado del Fantasma.
Yup.
And they basically are just like, look, just go out there. Fight, take those titles if you want, but we're going to be right there waiting to take them off of you. You have to get back in line because Pretty Deadly is #1 contenders. I think everyone forgets that on the SmackDown roster.
Yeah,
Pretty Deadly already has that spot.
Yeah, we actually see them watching this upcoming match on the TV when in a couple like cutaway spots being like, whoever wins this match, we got a face.
Yep, but the Profits make their entrance and they come out to a huge pop.
Yep.
And DIY then makes their entrance and they come out to Nothing. Not a single fucking pop.
Yep. But but Street Profits do a like little walkout promo, and mate, I love this gimmick because they're about to walk through Gorilla and they just say, when they shout, "We want the smoke," I was like, oh, I'm loving this gimmick.
Bro, that's been their catchphrase forever, and I'm just glad that they're finally doing something with them, because we're not going to beat around the bush. We're going to give you the result of this match right away. And new WWE Tag Team Champions,
The
Street Profits. Because they are up and they want the smoke. So, they took it off of DIY in a very, very good match, in my opinion.
Pre-Deadly getting squashed next week.
Oh, yes, please. This is their first title since 2021, so their first championships in 4 years, which I think is pretty fucking ridiculous. Because they are literally one of the better tag teams on your roster, and now you're finally doing something with them. And now we just have to sit and wait and see what happens after they squash Pretty Deadly. Unless this gets thrown onto a Mania card.
Yeah.
Which I would be surprised if this is a Mania match.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I do have one more question. Since we saw both BFAB and the Street Profits, we mentioned how both of them are getting a lot more limelight. Do you think the separation of the Profits and BFAB, like BFAB no longer being that managerial role for them, has helped both these people out?
I don't think that... here's the thing. She doesn't have to stop being their manager, but it is good that she's out doing her own shit. Because the main thing when you think of a manager, you think of someone that's not participating in matches.
Mm-hmm.
You think of MVP with Omos.
Mm-hmm.
How MVP was just on the sideline.
Yeah. You think of the Wise Man as a manager.
Yeah, you think of the Wise Man, Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy's a bit of a gray area one. He's kind of like in the area that BFAB was in Scarlet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have these managers that are just managers, but they will also get into matches. They'll throw down if they need to, but they're usually considered more managers. But now with BFAB actually getting some shine, that's great. I love it. She's totally stepped up her presentation. She looks the part. She's wrestling the part. I think it's great for her. And with the Profits, they just needed time.
Yeah.
And not time to just get better. They just needed fucking screen time.
Yes.
You have this secret, and it's weird. When Eric went down, Ivar went on a singles run. With Dawkins went down, I don't know why you didn't have Montez go on a semi-singles run. I think he would have easily been the person to take it off of Shinsuke, in my opinion, or LA Knight, in my opinion. But now we just have to wait and see there. But I think them kind of doing their own thing is good. I don't think that she's out of the Street Profits. I think she's still a part of them. But yet, also in other news, this was Lillian Garcia's last time doing voice and doing ring announcing for Smackdown. So she said this was her last full-time show. She'll be doing Saturday night's main event and other future projects for WWE.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we don't know what that's going to be, but we are excited. Yeah. At least I am, because I really like her. Don't know what they're going to do for SmackDown's ring announcer. My first thought was maybe Samantha Irving comes back. I think they go out and they find someone new. The Cultaholic lads were saying, what if they did a Tough Enough-esque show or LFG-esque show where it's just ring announcers?
That'd be funny.
Like American Idol style. I think that would be fucking cool. I think that would honestly be an interesting little thing.
A 2-hour special of just people
that like a whole series, just like a special. It doesn't need to be a whole series, but that is it. Oh, geez. That is it from us here at Disqualified. Tell us what you think about the show down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is over. This has been Caleb, your disqualified main roster predictions champion, as joined always by Trevin and Zach behind that camera. It's been a long, long week. I am very tired, but we shall see you next time. Thank you for your time and peace.
Bye.